You're going places with your mind right now, and it's going to reveal things, deep things, things you may not have known about yourself. Guided visualization, relational psychological tests. We have several of them, so pack those bags because we have quite a few destinations to tick off. That's why you can close those eyes now. Closing those eyes and relaxing and getting ready to enter this sequence of guided visualization prompts. Prompts that will bring you closer to your inner self, your inner symbols, your inner workings, your inner world. Getting very close now to the inner psyche, preparing to surface those layers, decode what they mean. And our first guided visualization relational psychological test, the bubbles. I'm going to read to you this visualization prompt, and then I'm going to ask you a series of questions afterwards, and your answers will reveal psychologically where you're at in life and other key characteristics to your personality, your makeup, and your world. Okay. Just making sure your eyes are closed. Good. Alright. In the midst of a serene and expansive grassy field, you find a moment of peace. The sun casts a warm glow over the landscape, and the gentle breeze carries the sweet scent of nature. As you settle down onto the soft, welcoming grass, a sense of calm envelops you. In this tranquil setting, you take the opportunity to engage in a simple yet enchanting activity. You begin to blow bubbles, watching as they float effortlessly into the air, their delicate forms shimmering in the sunlight. Each bubble, unique in its journey, rises and dances before your eyes, creating a mesmerizing display against the clear blue sky. This serene activity, amidst the beauty of nature, creates a sense of harmony between you and the natural world. Now, I want you to characterize the bubble's appearance and movement. Are your bubbles big or are they small? Big bubbles indicate that you are outgoing, adventurous, and have a desire for attention. Big bubbles may indicate a sense of accomplishment or potential for growth. Small bubbles suggest that you are reserved, cautious, and value subtlety. When faced with challenging situations, blowing small bubbles can be a way to engage with the difficulties in a more measured and mindful way, allowing for a sense of control and focus amidst the obstacles. What shape are your bubbles? If your bubbles are spherical, you are known for your methodical and precise nature, and are often seen as someone who values orderliness, structure, and balance. You have a strong desire for perfection in both your work and personal pursuits, which drives you to strive for excellence in everything you do. If they have an irregular shape, you are often perceived as unconventional, with a unique and creative perspective on the world. Your inclination toward creativity, spontaneity, and unpredictability are highly valued. How many bubbles are there? If you notice that only one bubble forms, you prioritize quality over quantity. And you value introspection and patience in your work. Blowing one bubble may symbolize your desire to achieve a specific goal or to concentrate your efforts on one area of your life. If there are few bubbles, you value simplicity and minimalism and prefer a life free of clutter or burdens. You desire to prioritize and streamline your goals and actions and to eliminate distractions that may be hindering your progress. If there are many bubbles, you hold a deep appreciation for creativity, abundance, and open-mindedness, which radiates positivity and optimism with others. The abundance of bubbles may also symbolize the abundance of ideas and opportunities that surround you, providing inspiration to seize the possibilities that lie ahead. How fast are your bubbles moving? If they are slow-moving bubbles, you are contemplative and introspective, often taking time to reflect on your thoughts and emotions and seek understanding of your own motivations and desires. If they are fast-moving bubbles, you have an energetic and ambitious personality, constantly pursuing success and achievement in life. And you have a go-getter mentality that compels you to take action without delay. And how long do your bubbles last? Do they pop quickly? If they last a long time, you possess the determination to invest time and effort in achieving your long-term goals. You maintain a composed and steady demeanor when confronting obstacles. If they pop quickly, you have a dynamic and spontaneous personality that thrives on new experiences and taking risks. You may have difficulty sustaining your attention and may be prone to impulsivity and leading you to give up too easily without fully considering the consequences. How high in the air are your bubbles? If they are high in the air, your creative and imaginative mind, coupled with your positive and enthusiastic outlook on life, inspires others to be more hopeful and optimistic. Your sense of adventure and willingness to try new things makes you a fun and exciting person to be around. If they are low in the air, you value stability and routine in daily life, and you approach decision-making cautiously and thoughtfully. If you feel frustrated with the lack of progress toward your goals, it may be helpful to focus more on the necessary steps to achieve them. And that was the bubble experience. Did it unearth anything new about the choices that you make and your personal makeup? I learned I was a bit adventurous and spontaneous and creative, which were things I didn't know. What did you find out that you didn't know? Isn't it so great to know yourself through bubbles? One of the best things you could possibly do, right? Other than go explore this castle, of course. This is the next guided visualization relational psychological test. And you're going to answer what comes naturally to you, taking time to really imagine yourself in this situation. And don't think in survivalist mode. You can check that at the door. And that is because the first thing that you're going to imagine is that you're on board a boat and the boat is sinking. You manage to swim to a lifeboat and climb in. How many people do you see in the lifeboat with you? Okay, and now you row to the shore, and you see a vast desert before you. You collect some belongings and supplies and head out across the desert in search of salvation. How many pairs of shoes do you use before you reach salvation? How many shoes? Upon reaching salvation, you find a city, and you see a castle that intrigues you, so you decide to go to it. After passing the gates, you find yourself walking down the length of a long corridor that leads to the throne room. You enter the throne room and see the king and queen sitting side by side on the throne. What do both the king and the queen look like? What characteristics do they seem to embody? After the throne room, you leave and go down a spiral stairway. It's dark and shadowy, with torches lit intermittently along the walls. As you're walking down the stairs, a lady or a knight, your choice, passes you by. You only catch a glimpse of their face, and they remind you of someone you know. Who do they remind you of? The stairs lead you to a banquet room, where you see a long table with a golden goblet in the middle of it. You look inside the goblet. How much wine do you find in it? Here's what your answers say about you. The number of people in the boat denotes how many friends you perceive you have. The number of shoes you go through before reaching salvation indicates the number of true loves you'll experience before getting married. The description of the king or queen represent what you'd imagine your ideal mate or companion to be like. The person, the lady, or knight, or a mixture of both, looks like is the person you are hung up on. And how full the glass of wine is represents how much you give of yourself in a relationship. What do you think? Can you see those parallels? Well, we'll see what the jungle reveals for you next. We're going deep into the jungle now. Imagine you're walking in a lush jungle. As you walk, feel the ground beneath your feet. Hear the birds. Feel the air. Smell the flowers and trees. And see your surroundings in vivid detail. After a short while, you reach a hut. Do you pass it? If you approach it, do you knock before going in? Or do you simply rush in? Now, imagine yourself inside the hut. You enter to find 20 unlit candles on a table. How many candles will you light up? Is the table square or round? How many chairs do you see around the table? You notice there's a jug on the table as well. What material is the jug made out of? You take a look inside the jug. How much water is inside the jug? Your curiosity satisfied, you exit the hut and notice the sound of rushing water. You let this sound lead you deeper into the jungle until you finally reach a beautiful waterfall. How fast is the waterfall? How many swans are near the waterfall? Very, very good. And what does the jungle reveal about you then? If you walked past the hut, you are not ready for relationships. If you chose to knock or rush into the hut, you are ready for relationships, and your method reveals how you approach them. The number of candles you chose to light represents how generous you are. The more you light, the more generous you are. If the table was square, you are more stubborn. If you chose a round table, you are more flexible. The number of chairs indicates your hospitality. The more chairs, the more company you are likely to entertain. The jug material is the material of your heart. The amount of water refers to the amount of love you will give to your partner. The speed of the waterfall is your libido. The number of swans symbolizes the number of best friends you have. How true were the swans to your best friend ratio in real life? What about your libido? And the candles, did you light them? Well, finally, we'll do a quick priority test. I have 5 situations, and you are going to rank them in terms of priority, which you would handle first, second, third, fourth, fifth. And if you can't remember them all, what's most important is knowing at least first through third. But I will run through them a few times, so you'll likely remember. So of these 5 scenarios, in what order would you handle or address them? A baby is crying. The clothes are hanging outside, and it has started raining. The water is running from the tap. The doorbell is ringing. The phone is ringing. Again, a baby is crying. The clothes are hanging outside, and it has started raining. The water is running from the tap. The doorbell is ringing. The phone is ringing. And once more, of the 5 situations, they are: a baby is crying. The clothes are hanging outside, and it has started raining. The water is running from the tap. The doorbell is ringing. The phone is ringing. Now rank them with what you would attend to first through fifth. What order would you handle these situations? How would you prioritize them? This is what it reveals about you. If you tend to the baby first, your priority is family. If you bring the clothes inside first, your priority is sex. If you switch the tap off first, your priority is wealth. If you see who is at the door first, your priority is friends and relatives. If you answer the phone first, your priority is career and job. So, for example, if the first thing you did was answer the phone, then your biggest priority in life would be your career and job. Similarly, if the fourth thing you did was attend to the baby, then your fourth priority would be your family. It's interesting how they linked some of those scenarios to the perceived meanings. But all of these guided visualization, relational, psychological tests were, according to the internet, created by accredited psychologists. I searched high and low for guided visualization, relational, psychological tests that hadn't been used as much. So hopefully you are exposed to and able to experience a new kind of personality test that you hadn't taken or heard before. It's been such a pleasure to do personality tests with you today. Please let me know what you thought of this, how you liked the soft-spoken format. It was requested that I do one with less whispering and more soft-spoken words, so I did my best today. I love having you here, I love growing with you, and I will see you next time.